Chosen ones, if you ignore this, don't blame God later. A quiet but urgent moment has arrived for the heart that is willing to listen with sincerity, because something deeply meaningful is being placed before you right now, and ignoring it may allow a blessing meant for your life to slowly drift away. There are seasons when heaven gently knocks on a person's soul, not with noise or fear, but with a calm and loving whisper that carries direction, healing, and protection from unseen troubles. This is one of those sacred moments when the presence of God moves close to remind certain souls that their lives are not random and their struggles are not forgotten. Those who are chosen often walk through confusion and loneliness for a long time, yet God quietly prepares them for a breakthrough that changes everything in ways they never expected. Type 444 if you believe. There is something very important about this moment, because the heart that stays attentive to God's voice receives guidance that protects the future from pain and regret. Many people move quickly through life without noticing when heaven tries to warn them or prepare them for something greater. Yet the chosen ones are gently awakened, so they do not miss the path God carefully prepared long before they were born. This awakening is not about fear or pressure, but about love that refuses to let a precious soul walk blindly toward unnecessary suffering. God does not abandon his children to confusion, because his compassion always reaches out before the storm arrives. If this moment touches your heart with even a small sense of truth and peace, take a second to show your support by liking this video, because it helps this message reach another soul who may be quietly waiting for the same comfort and encouragement. There are people walking this earth who feel different from others, and sometimes that difference brings a strange mixture of hope and loneliness that cannot easily be explained. These individuals often carry a deeper sensitivity toward kindness, faith, and spiritual truth, even when the world around them seems distracted by noise and temporary things. God places this awareness inside chosen hearts so they can recognize his guidance when it gently appears in unexpected moments. What seems ordinary to others can carry powerful meaning for someone whose spirit has been prepared to notice the quiet movement of heaven. The reason this moment matters so deeply is because God often sends reminders before major changes unfold in a person's life. These reminders do not always appear as loud signs or dramatic events, because the love of God usually works through quiet conviction that grows inside the heart like a small light slowly becoming brighter. That light encourages patience, wisdom, forgiveness, and faith during seasons that feel confusing or unfair. When someone ignores that inner light for too long, they may later wonder why life became more difficult than it needed to be. God never enjoys watching his children struggle without guidance, and that is why he sends these gentle calls of attention to those who belong to him. The message carried within this moment is simple but powerful, because heaven wants the chosen ones to stay awake in spirit and attentive to the direction being offered with love. God prepares doors of opportunity, healing, and restoration, yet he also respects the freedom of each person to notice or ignore the guidance being given. Some blessings arrive like sunshine after a long night of rain, bringing warmth that fills the soul with relief and quiet joy. Other blessings arrive disguised as warnings that protect the future from heartbreak, even though they may not feel pleasant at first. God understands what lies ahead in ways human eyes cannot see, and his desire is always to lead his children toward peace rather than regret. When chosen souls remain humble and attentive, they walk through life with a covering of grace that guides them away from hidden dangers. There are moments when a person senses that something important is being revealed, even though the full meaning becomes clear only later. These moments are not accidents, because the love of Jesus continues to reach people through subtle impressions that awaken faith and reflection. A person may feel encouraged to slow down, reconsider a decision, forgive someone who caused pain, or return to a deeper relationship with God after drifting away for some time. These gentle nudges are not coincidences, but invitations toward a life filled with purpose and protection. Type 1818 if you trust in God. The path of a chosen one is rarely easy, yet it is always meaningful because God uses every experience to shape strength, compassion, and wisdom. Even painful seasons become tools that prepare the heart to carry greater blessings without losing humility or gratitude. Jesus often works quietly within ordinary circumstances, transforming small moments into powerful turning points that redirect a life toward peace and fulfillment. The soul that listens carefully begins to notice how every challenge eventually reveals a hidden lesson guided by divine love. Many people only recognize the voice of God after they look back on a difficult chapter and realize that guidance was present the entire time. They remember subtle feelings that urged patience, forgiveness, or courage, and they begin to understand that heaven had been gently leading them away from harm. The chosen ones who pay attention today can avoid the sorrow of realizing too late that an important warning had been ignored. God speaks early so that healing and protection can arrive before unnecessary wounds appear. The love of Christ carries a steady promise that no soul is forgotten, even during the darkest and most uncertain seasons. His compassion surrounds those who feel overlooked, reminding them that heaven sees every tear, every effort, and every silent prayer spoken in moments of loneliness. When a chosen person begins to listen with faith and humility, the path ahead slowly becomes clearer with each step taken in trust. A 7-second brainwave approach, previously limited to elite groups and stored in classified files, is now available to everyone, and many call it the 30-second miracle. Researchers claim it stimulates a dormant brain center associated with prosperity and blessings. Click the link in the comments below before it is removed from the internet again. Many hearts begin to feel a gentle stirring after realizing that their lives hold deeper meaning than the ordinary rhythm of daily struggles. That stirring is not imagination or coincidence, because the Spirit of God carefully nurtures the souls who are willing to listen with humility and trust. What once felt confusing slowly becomes clearer as faith begins to replace fear and doubt. Chosen ones often spend years wondering why their path feels different from those around them, because they sense a deeper calling that others do not always understand. While many people move through life focused only on temporary comforts and quick success, the chosen ones are quietly shaped by experiences that strengthen their spirit. God allows certain seasons of hardship so the heart can grow in compassion, patience, and wisdom that will later bless many lives. These seasons may feel heavy at times, yet they are never wasted because every tear waters the ground where future miracles will grow. A person who begins listening to God with sincerity soon realizes that heaven does not rush the process of transformation. The love of Jesus gently rebuilds a wounded heart piece by piece, bringing healing to memories that once caused pain and discouragement. Even when the journey feels slow, something sacred is unfolding beneath the surface where human eyes cannot easily see. God works patiently within the soul, strengthening faith so that future blessings will be received with gratitude rather than pride. Type 2323 if you agree. There are moments when the chosen ones feel tempted to ignore the quiet direction of God, especially when life becomes busy or overwhelming with responsibilities and worries. The world constantly pulls attention toward distractions that appear urgent but carry little eternal value for the soul. God understands how easily a person can become tired or discouraged during difficult seasons, yet His love continues reaching out with patient reminders. The gentle presence of heaven never abandons the heart that once believed, even when that heart feels distant or uncertain. Sometimes the voice of God appears through unexpected peace during a troubled situation that once seemed impossible to endure. A person may suddenly feel calm in the middle of chaos, sensing that something greater is protecting them from unseen danger. That quiet assurance is one of the ways Jesus comforts his children, reminding them that they are never walking alone through life's darkest valleys. Even when circumstances look uncertain, the love of God quietly builds a path forward that leads toward restoration. Chosen ones are often guided to slow down and reflect on the deeper meaning of their experiences. Many events that once appeared painful or confusing begin revealing hidden lessons about forgiveness, patience, and compassion. God uses these lessons to soften the heart so it can become a source of encouragement for others who are struggling with similar burdens. A person who has walked through storms with faith eventually becomes a light that shines gently into the lives of people searching for hope. There is a powerful truth about the love of Jesus that brings comfort to every chosen soul willing to receive it. His presence does not depend on perfection, wealth, status, or recognition from the world. The grace of Christ reaches ordinary people living ordinary lives, turning their quiet faith into something beautiful and meaningful beyond imagination. Even the smallest act of kindness or prayer, offered with sincerity, becomes precious in the sight of heaven. Some chosen ones carry a deep feeling that their lives have been preserved through situations that could have ended in sorrow or destruction. They remember moments when danger came close, yet something mysterious guided them away from harm. These experiences often leave a quiet awareness that God has been protecting them long before they fully understood His presence. Such memories are not accidents, because heaven keeps watch over the lives that are destined to fulfill a greater purpose. When a person begins recognizing this protection, gratitude naturally fills the heart with a new sense of reverence toward God. Gratitude becomes a powerful force that opens the soul to even greater blessings and peace. Instead of focusing only on what is missing, the chosen ones learn to appreciate the quiet ways God has already been faithful throughout their journey. This awareness transforms ordinary days into moments of reflection, where faith grows stronger with every step forward. The love of Christ also teaches chosen ones to release bitterness that once weighed heavily upon their spirit. Carrying anger toward those who caused pain may feel justified for a time, yet it slowly drains the heart of peace and joy. Jesus gently invites his followers to place those wounds into his hands, so healing can begin in ways human strength cannot achieve alone. Forgiveness becomes a doorway that allows divine comfort to flow into places where sorrow once lived. When forgiveness takes root inside the heart, a person begins experiencing freedom that feels almost miraculous. Old memories lose their power to control emotions, and the soul becomes lighter with each passing day. God replaces the weight of resentment with compassion and understanding that brings deep emotional healing. This transformation does not erase the past, but it fills the future with hope that was once difficult to imagine. Chosen ones often discover that their greatest strength grows quietly through these hidden spiritual victories. While the world celebrates loud achievements and public recognition, heaven treasures the humble moments when a person chooses faith instead of despair. Every decision to trust God during uncertainty becomes a seed that eventually produces peace, courage, and wisdom. These invisible victories shape a life that reflects the love of Christ in simple but powerful ways. Type yes to affirm. There are times when the chosen ones feel discouraged because the blessings they hoped for have not yet appeared. Waiting can test the patience of even the strongest believer, especially when life seems to move slowly compared with the success of others. Yet God understands the deeper preparation taking place beneath the surface of that waiting season. What feels like delay is often divine timing that protects the soul from receiving something before the heart is ready to carry it wisely. What if abundance could be activated from within your own mind through a powerful sound frequency once kept in classified files? Specialists say this signal naturally draws opportunity and financial independence, and many people are already applying it. Click the link in the description and comments now and switch on this hidden brainwave today. The patience developed during these seasons becomes one of the most valuable gifts God gives to His children. Patience teaches trust, humility, and resilience that cannot grow in comfort alone. A person who learns to wait with faith develops a quiet strength that remains steady even when circumstances change. That strength becomes a foundation for future blessings that will require wisdom and maturity to handle with grace. Jesus also reminds the chosen ones that their value is never measured by the opinions or recognition of the world. Many people chase approval and admiration from others, only to feel empty when those voices eventually fade. The love of God offers something far more lasting and meaningful than temporary praise. His approval brings a deep sense of belonging that fills the heart with confidence and peace. When a chosen soul embraces this truth, fear begins to lose its grip on their life. They no longer feel pressured to prove themselves through constant competition or comparison with others. Instead, they walk quietly with faith, knowing that their identity is rooted in the love of God rather than the shifting expectations of the world. This freedom allows them to live with authenticity, kindness, and humility. The journey of a chosen one gradually becomes a testimony of how divine love transforms ordinary lives into sources of hope for others. Their story carries comfort for those who feel lost or forgotten because it reflects the patient mercy of Jesus working through every chapter of life. Even the painful seasons become meaningful when viewed through the lens of God's greater plan. As the chosen ones continue walking with faith, they begin noticing how God arranges moments of encouragement exactly when they need them most. A kind word, a peaceful thought, or a quiet reminder of hope arrives just in time to strengthen their spirit. These small moments reveal the constant presence of heaven guiding their path with gentle care. Ignoring such guidance may cause a person to wander longer through confusion, yet God's love remains patient even when His children struggle to listen. The invitation to return, reflect, and walk closely with Him never disappears. Each new day offers another opportunity to embrace the peace and wisdom that Jesus lovingly provides. There are seasons in life when the chosen ones begin to notice that the quiet guidance of God grows clearer with every step taken in faith. What once seemed like distant whispers slowly becomes a steady sense of direction that brings peace to the heart. The love of Jesus works gently within the soul, shaping thoughts, calming fears, and replacing confusion with quiet understanding. Even when the path ahead remains unseen, the chosen ones begin to trust that God is carefully arranging each moment with purpose and compassion. The heart that stays attentive to God's presence slowly learns that spiritual awareness grows through patience and reflection. Many people rush through their days without pausing to recognize the small ways heaven continues to speak through life's ordinary moments. Yet those who belong to God begin noticing subtle reminders that guide their spirit toward wisdom and peace. A calm thought during a difficult situation, a sense of restraint before making a harmful decision, or a sudden feeling of hope during sadness can all carry the gentle fingerprints of divine care. Chosen ones often discover that their journey with God becomes deeper after moments of hardship that once felt overwhelming. Painful seasons have a way of revealing truths that comfort alone cannot teach. When the heart has been broken or discouraged, it becomes more sensitive to the quiet healing that Jesus provides. What once caused tears eventually becomes a reminder that God carried them through a valley they never expected to survive. There is something sacred about the way God restores a wounded spirit. He does not rush the healing process or demand immediate strength from those who feel weak. Instead, the love of Christ slowly rebuilds courage inside the soul, like morning sunlight gently warming the earth after a long and cold night. This patient restoration allows chosen ones to grow stronger without losing their compassion for others who are still struggling. Type 2020 to claim miracles. Many chosen ones reach a point in life where they begin understanding why certain doors never opened in the past. At the time, those closed opportunities may have felt like rejection or failure that wounded the heart deeply. Yet with time and reflection, the wisdom of God reveals that some paths were blocked for protection rather than punishment. Heaven often closes doors that would have led toward sorrow, even when the human heart cannot immediately see the danger that was avoided. This realization brings a quiet gratitude that replaces old frustration with peaceful acceptance. The chosen ones begin to trust that God sees far beyond the limits of human understanding. His guidance moves through the hidden details of life, arranging circumstances that eventually lead to greater peace and purpose. What once looked like disappointment gradually reveals itself as divine protection working behind the scenes. The love of Jesus also begins shaping the chosen ones into sources of encouragement for others. People who have walked through darkness with faith often develop a gentle kindness that comforts those around them. Their words carry sincerity because they understand pain, struggle, and the need for hope during uncertain seasons. God often uses these humble voices to bring healing into lives that feel broken or forgotten. A person who has experienced the grace of God becomes more patient with the weaknesses of others. Instead of responding with judgment or anger, they begin offering understanding that reflects the compassion of Christ. This transformation turns ordinary conversations into moments of comfort that quietly lift heavy burdens from weary hearts. The chosen ones become living reminders that God's love continues working through people who choose kindness and faith. There are times when the chosen ones feel the weight of responsibility that comes with spiritual awareness. Knowing that God has a purpose for their life can feel both inspiring and overwhelming. Yet Jesus never expects his followers to carry this journey through their own strength alone. His presence walks beside them, guiding each step with patience and grace that renews their courage whenever they feel tired. What if wealth was never about chance, but about a hidden brain signal that stayed buried in classified records? This powerful frequency is now opening doors, attracting fresh opportunities, and transforming lives quickly. Thousands are already using it to bring prosperity into their lives in ways they never imagined possible. Click the link in the description and comments now and turn on the money-attracting brainwave today. The soul that remains close to God gradually learns that true strength grows from humility rather than pride. The world often praises loud confidence and personal success, yet heaven values quiet faith and sincere obedience. Chosen ones discover that trusting God in small daily decisions builds a foundation stronger than any recognition offered by the world. Every act of patience, forgiveness, and compassion becomes a reflection of Christ's love shining through their life. During moments of quiet reflection, the chosen ones sometimes realize that their life has been shaped by divine mercy more times than they can count. Situations that could have ended in disaster somehow turned towards safety at the last moment. Relationships that once felt broken were restored in unexpected ways. Strength appeared during times when they believed they had nothing left to give. These experiences become reminders that God has been working faithfully long before the chosen ones fully recognized His presence. The protection of heaven often surrounds a person quietly, guiding them away from dangers they never even noticed. Such awareness brings deep gratitude that fills the heart with renewed trust in the love of Christ. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. Walking by faith does not mean life becomes free from difficulty or uncertainty. Even the chosen ones continue facing moments when the future feels unclear and challenges seem heavy. Yet faith changes the way these seasons are experienced. Instead of feeling abandoned or defeated, the soul learns to rest in the assurance that God remains present through every circumstance. The peace that comes from trusting Jesus creates a quiet stability within the heart. Storms may still rise, but they no longer destroy the spirit of the one who believes. The chosen ones begin understanding that God uses every chapter of their story to shape a deeper relationship with Him. Each difficulty becomes an opportunity for faith to grow stronger and more resilient. Over time, this relationship with God transforms how the chosen ones view their purpose in the world. They begin recognizing that their experiences carry meaning far beyond personal comfort or success. The love of Christ flowing through their life becomes a blessing for others who are searching for hope. Even simple acts of kindness can carry powerful impact when they are offered with sincerity and compassion. Jesus often works through quiet moments rather than dramatic displays of power. A gentle word spoken at the right time can restore courage in someone who feels defeated. A patient heart can bring peace to a situation filled with tension and misunderstanding. The chosen ones learn that living with love and humility becomes one of the greatest testimonies of God's presence. As the journey continues, the chosen ones grow more confident in the truth that God never wastes a single experience in their life. Every joy and every hardship contributes to a larger story guided by divine wisdom. Even when the meaning of a situation is not immediately clear, faith allows the heart to remain steady with hope. This steady hope becomes a light that shines quietly through the darkness of a troubled world. People searching for comfort are drawn toward those who carry peace within their spirit. The chosen ones may not always realize how much their faith influences others, yet God uses their presence to inspire courage and healing in ways they cannot fully see. The path of a chosen one is not about perfection, fame, or recognition. It is about walking humbly with God while allowing His love to shape the way they treat others. Each step taken in faith becomes part of a larger purpose that slowly unfolds with time. The chosen ones often look back and notice how many times they were protected in ways they did not immediately understand. There were seasons when confusion seemed overwhelming and the future appeared uncertain or fragile. Yet somehow strength appeared at the exact moment it was needed, and a quiet sense of hope continued to rise even during the darkest nights. That strength did not come from human ability alone, but from the steady presence of God working within the heart. The love of Christ has a way of reaching people during the moments when they feel most alone or forgotten. In those silent hours when no one else seems to understand the weight carried inside the soul, the presence of God draws close with gentle comfort. This comfort does not always remove the difficulty immediately, but it provides the courage to keep moving forward with faith. The chosen ones begin to realize that Jesus has been walking beside them even when they felt they were traveling through life by themselves. There is a sacred beauty in the way God restores a heart that has experienced pain or disappointment. Instead of allowing sorrow to define a person's future, heaven slowly transforms those wounds into sources of compassion and wisdom. A person who has walked through hardship with faith often develops a deep understanding of the struggles faced by others. This understanding becomes a gift that allows them to comfort people who are walking through similar storms. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. Trusting Jesus brings a quiet strength that helps the chosen ones remain steady even when life becomes unpredictable. Faith does not remove every challenge, but it changes how those challenges are faced. The heart that trusts God learns to remain calm in situations that once caused fear or panic. This calmness comes from knowing that nothing happens outside the awareness and care of heaven. Many chosen ones begin to see how God uses even the smallest moments to shape their spiritual growth. A simple act of kindness offered during a difficult day can become a powerful reminder that love still exists in the world. A moment of patience during conflict can prevent a situation from becoming more painful or destructive. These small choices may seem insignificant at first, yet they slowly build a life that reflects the compassion of Christ. The journey with God gradually transforms the way chosen ones view their purpose in life. Instead of chasing recognition or approval from the world, they begin focusing on living with sincerity and kindness. The approval that comes from God carries far greater meaning than temporary praise offered by people. This understanding brings a deep sense of peace that frees the soul from constant comparison and pressure. Inside your mind is a small region connected to achievement and abundance, once concealed within restricted research and classified documents. This newly disclosed frequency is helping people replace financial pressure with calm and balance, and God has guided you to encounter this at just the right time. Click the link in the description and comments to activate this hidden brainwave now. Jesus teaches his followers that true greatness is found in humility and love rather than power or status. The chosen ones begin recognizing that their greatest influence often comes through quiet actions rather than loud achievements. A gentle spirit can soften hardened hearts, and sincere compassion can bring healing where anger once existed. God uses these humble acts to spread hope in ways that are often unseen but deeply meaningful. There are times when chosen ones may feel discouraged because their efforts to live with faith seem unnoticed or unappreciated. The world often celebrates loud success while overlooking quiet acts of goodness. Yet heaven never overlooks the sincere choices made by those who seek to honor God with their life. Every moment of patience, forgiveness, and generosity becomes precious in the sight of the Lord. This truth brings encouragement during seasons when progress feels slow or invisible. The chosen ones learn that their faithfulness matters even when others do not recognize it. God sees every effort made with sincerity, and he continues shaping the future in ways that will eventually reveal his purpose. Nothing offered with love and faith is ever wasted in the hands of heaven. Type 1919 to receive miracles. The miracles that God prepares for his children often arrive quietly rather than dramatically. Sometimes a miracle appears as restored peace within a troubled heart. Sometimes it arrives through unexpected opportunities that open doors toward a brighter future. In other moments, a miracle appears through renewed strength that helps someone rise again after believing they could not continue. The chosen ones slowly begin recognizing that miracles are not always loud or spectacular events. Many of them appear through daily blessings that remind the soul that God is still working behind the scenes. Protection from unseen danger, guidance during confusion, and comfort during sadness all reveal the quiet miracles of divine love. As faith grows deeper, the chosen ones also begin understanding the importance of staying attentive to God's guidance. Ignoring the quiet voice of heaven can lead a person toward unnecessary struggle or regret. God never forces his direction upon anyone, but he continues offering gentle reminders that help the heart remain aligned with his wisdom. Listening to this guidance requires moments of stillness where the soul becomes open to reflection and prayer. When life becomes busy and noisy, it is easy to overlook the quiet ways God speaks.